It's the 90s and you have a Mac, but there's a piece of Windows software you want to run. As you'll soon learn, this is much easier said than done. Not only does your Mac run a completely different operating system, its architecture is completely different from that of a Windows PC, with an IBM PowerPC processor instead of an Intel x86 or a Compatible. There are some ways around this. One would be running Windows in a virtual machine, but emulating an entire x86 CPU would be processor intensive, and computers just really weren't that fast yet. Another option would be a software emulation layer. This was possible on something like a Sun workstation, but again, on a consumer-grade computer, it was just a little bit too slow. The perfect solution would just be to put a PC inside the Mac that could run all the Windows software and run it natively, but that would be absurd. How could you fit a whole PC inside your Mac? Well, Apple had the answer. In this box is the Apple PC Compatibility card, actually the last in a long line of similar products. The first one of these that was made was actually an Apple II compatible card that worked on a Macintosh LC, but later versions were PC compatible and could run MS-DOS and Windows software. Early versions had 486 CPUs, but this is the last one made, and it's a top-of-the-line 166 MHz Pentium. It's compatible with a whole range of Power Macs, including the 7500 that I have. It's got 16 megs of RAM, a 2 megabyte ATI video chip, and Sound Blaster 16 compatible audio. Inside the box, we have a whole slew of manuals, including the complete MS-DOS user's guide with a certificate of authenticity. Here are the install discs, some on floppy and some on CD, as well as a video cable we'll need later. And here at the bottom is the actual card itself. And here it is in all its glory. The Pentium is here under this heatsink. We have some RAM up here along with an expansion slot that'll take it all the way up to 80 megs. Here's our ATI video chip. And here's the other side, more RAM chips. We've got an audio chip here. And on the side, we have our combined video output port as well as a game port for your joystick. But just looking at the card would get boring pretty quick. So let's take this Power Mac apart and get it seated in there. And here's the Power Mac with the case open. This door is supposed to hinge, but it's broken. So we'll just put that off to the side. And I'm going to go ahead and slot the PC compatibility card in the leftmost PCI slot. Now this is actually supposed to come with some audio cables, and you're supposed to deroute the audio output from your CD drive and plug it into the card and unplug the audio cable from the motherboard and do a whole bunch of other things, but I didn't get any of those cables, so I'm assuming sound just isn't going to work for us, but we'll be able to demonstrate all the other functions of the card. And here you can see why we needed that video cable in the first place. This one here plugs into the DB15 port coming out of your Mac, and this one goes into the PC compatibility card. And then you get this combined output here, which we already have a DB15 to VGA adapter on, and that's what goes into your monitor. That way you'll be able to seamlessly switch between the outputs of the two cards. Okay, with that installed, let's switch the computer on. Alright, here we are back in the Mac. The keen-eyed among you will notice that I am now recording in 30 frames per second because otherwise I had some weird flickering and distortion on the monitor. But anyway, according to the manual, this is the software disk we need to install. So I'm going to go ahead and install that. And going into the optical drive. There we go, okay. Let's read the README. So it requires that we have open transport. I'm pretty sure we have that. Otherwise, it should have an installer for that. Okay, here we go. Let's just make sure this is installed. Okay, gonna go ahead and restart. And in the meantime, I do have my copy of Windows 95 here. This is OSR2 because it has the USB support, and the jewel case is falling apart. This is an OEM disc, but I'm not actually sure for what OEM because it doesn't say anywhere on here. So yeah, this should work just fine with our PC compatibility card. Okay, so let's go ahead and install the software for this guy. And once we have Windows set up, it looks like there will be a separate floppy disk to get the support software installed on that. And here we go. Okay, and we have to restart once more. So yeah, that should have been all I needed to do. We have, for some reason, a copy of System 7.5 on here. I'm not really sure why, but... Oh, well, I installed Open Transport, so I don't know why you're mad about that. Maybe that's just for the networking. I'll see if I can find a newer version of Open Transport if we actually need that. Otherwise, I don't really care about the networking. So, now on our control panels, we have PC setup. And there we go. Okay. So, we can create a virtual hard drive here, and we have 412 megs available. Let's just go ahead and make a 200 megabyte drive and Win95, and that should be a fine place for it. And it's telling me here PC is shut down, and I'm assuming that means it detects the card and it just knows it's off. So once we have the drive prepared, we can go ahead and switch to the PC or start it up. And yeah, should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, I'm really hoping we'll have functional audio without the audio cables being routed. It looked like it was mostly just for CD stuff. And maybe the Sound Blaster will go over PCI, but I'm not really sure about that. It remains to be seen. Okay, so now we have this, and we can even use serial ports. And I'm pretty sure it said in the manual that you could actually share your Mac printer to your PC, so that's pretty cool. Okay, whatever. And okay, I guess we can auto-enable the sounds, and yeah, we can't share... Oh, this is for sharing the Windows drive to the Mac. Got it, okay. So our hotkey to switch between the Mac and the PC is Command-Enter. Let's see if... Yeah, okay, I can have the PC auto-started, but that won't take effect until we restart the Mac. And okay, it is booting the PC card. Let's go ahead and try to switch to it. And it fades out. And there it is. Oh my God, look at that. Okay, that is so cool. Apple Compatibility BIOS, I saw that. Awesome, look at that. The Pentium is working. We have our 16 megs of RAM. That is so cool. Okay, I'm gonna put in our Windows 95 disk and try and boot from it. Okay, so I just made an actual Windows 95 boot disk, so hopefully that'll make it a little bit happier. Oh wow, okay. And SCSI CD-ROM driver, that should work. Okay, so I'm just gonna read the manual and see if that'll give us a solution. Okay, so apparently in order to install Windows, we need to install DOS first. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, I've written some DOS 6.22 disks, which is what is recommended. So I'm gonna go ahead and install that. And let's go ahead and just do that. Sure, whatever, okay. And once that's done, we're gonna go ahead and install this disk, which has some specific drivers and stuff. I'm assuming that's why we need to have DOS installed, is because the driver disk will make our SCSI CD-ROM drive visible to Windows, or I guess I should say visible to DOS. But yeah, we have the installer going, and I'll come back when that's done. Okay, so we've got DOS installed, and we're gonna put in our PC software, PC compatibility card, floppy disk here. And I have checked, and all of this is on archive.org, the manual, the floppies, everything. So if you only have the card, you should be able to recreate this. So let's go to A here. And I guess set up. Oh, sweet, look at that. Okay. It's weird to see something that looks like this made by Apple, I will say that. And there we go. Sure. Yep. Okay. Let's do that. F10 to continue. And great. Okay, so we do have our CD-ROM driver here now. Okay. I don't know if restart the PC means it is restarting the PC or if it wants me to do that. But okay, it looks like it's doing that. Awesome. I still can't get over how crazy that is to have the regular American Megatrends BIOS and just have it be made by Apple. I don't know. Anyway, we should have our CD-ROM driver now, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to access the E drive. Okay. Sweet, awesome, okay. Windows 95 going on. Awesome, look at that. And I'm reading the manual. It looks like we're gonna have to install some support software when this is done. But oh man, look at that, that is cool, okay. And yeah, the Mac mouse is working, everything. It's all being passed through. So yeah, this is gonna be just a pretty normal Windows 95 setup. I'm not really gonna show it because, you know, it's nothing special, but once it's installed, I'll come back to you. Okay, so here we are in Windows 95, and this is the driver CD that I need to run from within Windows. I've looked through the manual a little bit, and it seems like there are a couple of things that are on here. One of them is QuickTime for Windows, as well as the sound and video drivers. And here we go. Let's see what's in the Apple folder. Looks like this is some network stuff. And it's not mentioning anything about the Apple folder in the manual here, so screw it, let's just see what it does. And that appears to be broken, so I'm going to Control-Alt-Delete and end that. Okay, maybe let's just restart the PC and see what happens. Or maybe that just won't work either. Who knows? Okay, we are back up and running after force restarting the PC from within the Mac OS. And let's see what else we can do in here. This from the manual looks like was just for separate keyboard languages, so I don't need any of those, so I think we can skip over this, but we can read the README. And yeah, Apple keyboard files. And yeah, this is just for international stuff, so we do not need this. So the first thing I want to do is see if installing the sound card drivers will get our sound working, which I don't think they will because we don't have the cables plugged in. And though I've looked it up, they're just regular SCSI CD-ROM drive cables, but just to get the video out, I'm gonna get it working with no sound, and then we'll see what we can do later. But yeah, here is our creative setup wizard. Oh, look at that. And I'd just like to reiterate how cool it is that I can just switch to the Mac at any point, and I'm just back up with whatever I was doing on the Mac, and then switch back to the PC and just be right back where I was on that, because it's literally just two computers in there. How cool is that? And we have to modify our system files, and then we have a restart. So we'll see if the sound works now. Most likely it will not, but yeah, just in case. And maybe we can't restart because this is just frozen, so whoops. Okay, so after a restart, we still do not have sound, so I think that's just gonna have to wait on the cables, but what we can do is install the video drivers. So let's get those up and running. Display drivers. What the hell? Why do I have to click on this tiny button to start the installation? Why can't you just start the installation? Oh my god, I have to install it through the... Okay. Okay, it might actually already have drivers installed, but I'm gonna see if it can copy them from there. Oh god. I guess just the English one then. Because I know it is a Mach 64, but apparently it's branded as an Expression Plus or whatever. So we'll see what this does for us. Okay, so that installed, I'm gonna go ahead and click apply. And do we need to restart for that? No, it looks like we don't. Awesome, okay, so let's see if we can go to 32-bit color and 800 by 600. And let's see if this actually has the monitor I have, because I think the monitor is from 1995, so it's a possibility. Let's see, Sony Multiscan 15SF, awesome. Okay, and we do need to restart for that. Is it just gonna freeze again? Maybe there is some kind of issue with this. Okay, let's see if I can... If I shut down the PC from here, it's just gonna like kill it. But if Windows can't shut itself down, then I don't know what the alternative would be. I don't think we should, corrupt the hard drive at all doing this, because it's already triggered the shutdown command, so I don't think it would be writing to the hard disk, but we'll see. And I think this is still 640 by 480, so yeah, it is. Damn. Well, at least we aren't at 16 colors anymore. I'm gonna see, what if I restart the computer from here? Does this work? Yeah. Weird, okay. So it's only when it's not the Windows shutdown screen that it doesn't work. That's weird. Let me change the resolution again in the control panel and see if it works this time, because I have no idea what else to try. Okay, restarted, and now we have these ATI tabs in the display properties. Does this actually work? Oh my god, it does. That is really cool. Huh. Anyway, okay. Okay, I selected the monitor again in the display properties menu. And am I gonna have to restart? Nope, okay, that just works, great. So let's do 800 by 600 and 32-bit color. Let's see if we can apply without restarting. Awesome, okay, great. Now when I selected the monitor, it did make the screen smaller, so let's see. Ugh. Okay, it really doesn't like the size adjustment. So how about I just leave it like that? And I am going to try to change the refresh rate here. Let's do 60 Hertz. Great, okay. For some reason, even if I select 60 hertz here, I still can't actually record the monitor with the camera set at 60 hertz. So I'm just gonna leave it on 30 for the rest of the video, and it is what it is. So let's take a look at some of the system information here. You can see our Pentium and 16 megs of RAM, and that is plenty of power for Windows 95. Here's our ATI Expression video card, our monitor, our mouse, and I did see mouse drivers in here, but I don't think we really need to install them. I mean, the mouse has one button. There is QuickTime. Let's see if this works, and then I'll try a couple other games and some more Windows 95 software, and we'll see what this thing is capable of. I'm kind of disappointed there isn't a little bit more Apple stuff, like there's no Apple control panel like there is with Boot Camp on a modern Mac, but it is still very cool. Okay, it's been frozen at this please wait screen for a minute, so I'm just gonna give up and install Quake. I'm gonna go ahead and force restart the PC again. And there is a distinct possibility that the hard drive in this Mac is just dying, because it's a SCSI drive from, 1995, so maybe I should just go ahead and put a blue SCSI in here. I think OS 8.5 is actually a little bit too new for this thing, because it's only 100 megahertz, so it's running pretty slow at the moment, and it might be because of that hard drive, but also the computer kind of sucks. Okay, and it's popping up with this ATI help screen every single time I turn the computer on now, which is good. I'm glad they stopped designing software like that. So let's get this Apple Utility CD out of here and get the Quake CD in. Can I eject from here? In fact, I can. Okay, Quake, let's see it. That optical drive really does not sound good, does it? Uh-oh. Okay, I'm gonna try ejecting the disk and putting it back in. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I mean, it is a little hazy, but I'm pretty sure I tried this in a computer. Is the optical drive on this computer dying? Okay, I switched back to the Mac, and now it won't let me switch back to the PC. So I'm just gonna stop recording, and I'm gonna see if I can get Quake working. Otherwise, I'm just gonna end the video here. So we'll see. Well, something about this computer is just not liking this CD, and I'm not totally sure what it is, but I think this video's been going on for long enough. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it here. If you made it through all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching, and I'll definitely do a follow-up to this and get some more software working on the Windows side of this, as well as try to get that sound working. But for now, I think we've got a pretty good start with it being installed and having Windows up and running. So again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.